It's a hurry, jolly Christmas. Oh, it's the best time of the
Did
years.
you spank your eggnog this morning?
Let's say,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, huh? Good.
Oh, no, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Welcome to this special Christmas edition of Talking Shop. If it actually drops on Christmas, we'll see. Who knows?
It's
But if
gonna
it does.
it's gonna drop.
Merry
This
Christmas.
is Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. It's Christmas Day.
Merry effing Christmas.
The boys are coming to you on Christmas, on a beautiful Christmas day, we hope. But we know that
Little Chris Kringle came last night. I hooked over to your house.
our
Came
hard
down your chimney and left you a couple little presents.
our hardworking editor is the great famous legendary Balls Deep
Balls
Billy.
Deep Billy.
He
I wonder what he asked for Christmas. We don't know because he's not here this Christmas morning.
well, I mean, he's probably in for us. He probably is asking for
Little shack of coal.
a little sack of coal. Oh, I like Toothless Stone Cold. Toothless Stone Cold on this beautiful Christmas day.
Little Toothless Stone Cold had himself a very Merry Christmas.
All right, everybody listening to this right now, take a deep breath. It's Christmas Day.
Breath work.
It's a beautiful day. I like how balls deep.
Balls Deep's doing breath work, so he had to miss the podcast this morning. Merry Christmas to the Deep family up there in New York City. I hope you're having a great Yuletide.
Emilio, so you go, Emilio, what are you up to? So what are you telling? You wake up at what times? I wake up about 4. You know, I wake up.
We're gonna roast Emilio this Christmas morning?
I wake up about 4 and I do my breath work.
Is he in? Is he in? So I'm all right.
I
Breathe in, then I breathe back out.
I do my breath awake, and then I go back to sleep because I'm tired after the breath awake.
Oh, Lord in heaven.
Everybody take a deep breath. It is a beautiful Christmas of 2025, and
It's
just
24. It's Merry
oh
Christmas.
yeah, sorry, 2024.
Year.
But just saying that it's Christmas 2024, doesn't that just isn't that just insane? And if you just go back in time, think back to the first Christmas you can remember,
The Christmas creature, Santa Claus,
the Christmas creatures. So
Yeah.
it's Christmas 2024. Pretend like we're live where we're at. What are you doing today? Christmas Day this morning. What is your routine, Big LG?
I mean, what?
Because you're in Key West, right?
No, I got back from Key West yesterday.
Oh, so you're gonna get back and you're gonna spend Christmas Day at home.
Yeah, we're gonna get up. We're gonna see what little Christopher Kringle put under the tree. We're all gonna open our presents.
Remember,
nice little meal.
We're
gonna have. I'm excited because we changed the traditional Christmas Day meal from I like the Thanksgiving meal. A lot of people don't like the Thanksgiving meal. I like the Thanksgiving food. I don't know.
Where does that come from? Because
even in my family, I get it, but they just decided not everybody liked turkey, so they didn't do it this year. But for years, it would be it was pretty cool. It would be like crab legs, pizza. Anybody could pick whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
So we kind of adopted that at my house this year. So we're gonna have steak and crab legs. So I'm excited. Listen, all you little damn kids, open your little damn presents, and then let me crack some crab glows.
So let's move back to Thanksgiving now. So I remember. Yeah. So I basically spend Thanksgiving with the wife's family, and they like everything. They have tons. They always bring tons and tons of food, but it got to where one person just kind of thought they didn't want turkey anymore and thought, let's just do ham. And I remember thinking that you got to have turkey.
You got to have turkey. My big thing is I like the leftover turkey because I get some of that little keto bread and some Duke's mayonnaise, and I like to smash me a big old turkey sandwich.
You know what? So let's go back to the fitness stuff. I'll say this. I'm a massive Duke's mayonnaise guy. Oh my gosh.
It's the best.
It's the absolute best. But I was able somehow in my insane good brother world, I was able to cut out mayonnaise over the summer.
Well, here's the counterpoint to all
I think
this.
it was key though for where I went.
Here's the counterpoint to all this. Duke's mayonnaise now, if you're a mayonnaise connoisseur, which I don't know why I'm admitting this, but Duke's mayonnaise now, you can get Duke's mayonnaise with olive oil. So instead of having like 20 some grams of fat, it's only like 4 grams of fat. So you can still feel that delicious Duke's texture in your mouth going down around your turkey. And
Oh
you don't have
yeah.
to pay that penalty that you normally have to pay with full fat Dukes.
Oh, there is so good. So, but what I was going to say was how I started eliminating that was I started dumping more Redmond salt on it. So I don't know.
Yeah. I was hoping you weren't doing peanut butter and turkey sandwiches.
Yeah. Oh, peanut butter and turkey. Oh, I love all the Thanksgiving turkey and the everything else. But sorry, we're Christmas. It's Christmas today.
It's Christmas. It's not damn old Thanksgiving, man.
So are you gonna do crab legs for Christmas Day today?
Crab legs for Christmas Day, man. Crab. My son's allergic to shell food too, so I feel terrible. So he's gonna eat a big old tomahawk.
You don't feel terrible enough to eliminate that from your house.
Well, but don't you think that's a great idea? As a brother, I can go outside and grill him a steak. You know, it's Christmas. I can,
See, you're making now you're making me excited for the Christmas Day.
Yeah, because
that sounds fun when you start to cook and you're relaxing and you're watching football.
Fun. Football's on. The kids are playing with their toys. Christmas is fun. I like Christmas. If you're a Scrooge, then buy humbug your ass.
True. So, when do you start your liquid beverages on Christmas Day?
Well, I'm not going to, I don't think, because I'm going to be coming home from Key West. So I'm probably going to be like, all right, let's brother down. Maybe I'll have myself a little eggnog while I'm grilling. But other than that, actually, I don't like eggnog at all. Do you?
I mean, yes. I mean, it tastes great.
What's the point of eggnog? It's like
you put a little whiskey in it. It tastes good.
Well, why would you just have a little whiskey then?
Well, because whiskeys taste terrible, so have a little whiskey and
that's actually true. It took us years to admit that it does taste like shit. So, are you going to be on? Are you going to be on the cruise?
I'm going to be
during Christmas Day.
Christmas Day, I will be on the cruise, relaxing.
So when does the cruise leave, and where does it go, and how many people are going on the cruise?
I think it leaves out of Port Canaveral, close to Orlando-ish, I believe. That's on December the 23rd, the 24th, the 25th. Okay, maybe it's the 25th, 26th. I think I come home on the 27th.
Well, that's great. You'll be home just in time for Tampa SmackDown. I expect you down there watching me become Dark Match Goldberg and going 3-0.
I love Dark Match Goldberg.
Oh, that's great. So where does the cruise go?
The cruise goes to the Bahamas. I've never been on a cruise before.
Have you ever been to the Bahamas, down at Nassau or Port Canaveral?
I've never been to the Bahamas. Grade. I always thought the Bahamas was I remember as a kid growing up, I always wanted to avoid the Bermuda Triangle.
But, as a kid, I thought that too. And I remember I only got to go to the Bahamas as a kid because my friend John Nixon's family was going. He was an only child. So John Nixon's parents thought he needed to bring a friend.
Well, naturally.
So I got to go.
That's good.
But we went on the Big Red Boat to the Bahamas when I went. I think I went as an adult too. But
what's the Big Red Boat?
Well, I don't know, but I do remember this. John Nixon's father was a very colorful character. And I said, my parents said there's one stipulation. They gave me money to go on this cruise. And they said, you have to get your brother a present in the Bahamas, like a souvenir thing, and bring it back because he's not getting to go. He's in the 4th grade or whatever. So John Nixon's dad got hammered on the cruise ship deck by the pool. And I said, Mr. Nixon, I have to go and find my brother a souvenir whenever we land in Port Canaveral or whatever. And he goes,
yeah.
He's all hammered. He goes, don't worry about that at all. I got a card right here, a Big Red Boat card. And
a little stone cold in him.
I said, he did. Yeah. I said, thanks, John Nixon Sr. And he wrote, Big Red Boat, shit don't float. You couldn't go. And he goes, hand him this. And I was like, I don't think that's going to work. Big Red Boat, shit don't float. And you couldn't go. Anyway.
What is your greatest Christmas memory?
Shit does float too, by the way. My greatest, oh man. My
Like
parents made Christmas
just a flat out
amazing when
greatest
I was a kid.
Christmas. What's that? Sorry.
I said my parents they made a big deal out of Christmas. My mother loves Christmas, so I mean I had some really cool Christmases. My dad was in construction. I remember one year the biggest Christmas ever for the 6 months. We kept getting this is their big year. If you guys keep being good, big year. And when we went outside Christmas morning, there was his construction buddies and him had built us a a real fort, like a little mini tree fort, and it was spray painted camouflage, and they lifted it up on these big poles in the backyard and had a ladder going into it. And I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. And, you know, as a kid, I loved that fort. You could play Army in it, do all kinds of things. And then as I became a teenager, I would hide all my penthouses and Playboys in that fort. And then I'd go up there after school, and I didn't really play Army so much anymore. I just browsed through the magazines and read all the
Went straight up to the old magazines, huh?
Yeah, it was a different era then as a kid. You know, you didn't have a cell phone and you didn't have access to everything in your little hand tablet and couldn't just go to town. You
know? Kids have no idea that
this is a Christmas memory. My God, you jog my memory, and it goes into that story. And of course, in true,
I mean, look where your Christmas memory took you.
Think about this. This was an amazing Christmas memory. I have a lot of great Christmas.
Yeah, that was the Christmas memory. That was almost the Christmas memory I asked you about.
I get off the bus.
All right.
It's the snow-covered day in Cumberland, Maryland. I get off the bus. It's right before Christmas break, and I can remember seeing on top of the snow. I said, "What is that?" And it was the Christmas edition of Playboy with Jenny McCarthy, and I was like, "Santa Claus is real." So I wrapped it up and I put it in my little bomber jacket, and I ran up the driveway straight behind my parents' house, and I climbed into the fort and I put it behind a little pegboard where all the toy guns and the Army stuff was.
And you stole it.
Oh, I had that thing for years. It's probably still up there.
Jenny McCarthy was special back then.
Oh, she was smoking, man. One year I got a 4-wheeler too. I could tell my dad was doing good. Like we got a 4-wheeler for Christmas, and that was like, holy shit, we got a 4-wheeler. It's pretty cool.
Every single year, I asked my mom for a 4-wheeler, and each year it almost like she looked at me like,
it's one of those things too.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, but we didn't get them when we were little. Like you could like see the rise of your parents or what they were going through and stuff. But I remember a couple of years ago here, I thought, man, the kids, I want like one more like. It's not a big cool thing to open. I really want to get something. So I really went in this massive search, and I'm looking on Marketplace and stuff. And I found this guy was selling this go-kart. And I go, man, I got a go-kart would be pretty cool. I always wanted a go-kart. So I drive up to North Atlanta, and I'm looking at this go-kart, and the guy's talking. But he's trying to negotiate with me. And I'm thinking, do they really need a go-kart? Are they really going to ride a go-kart? And the guy, this little dude, he's like this little 120-pound dude. He goes, hey, man, it's a 2-person go-kart. He goes, you want to take her for a spin? And it had just rained, and I fold my big ass up in this little go-kart beside this tiny man I've never seen before, and he goes, just go ahead, take off. And he set me down this trail. It had just rained, and the go-kart's flying everywhere, and there's mud shooting up everywhere. And I said, I'll take this damn go-kart. I was so
yours
proud.
Now.
You know who's rode the go-kart more than anybody?
You.
Me.
Yeah.
I think the kids have rode the go-kart about 3 times total. No one gave it. Everybody was like, oh, cool, a go-kart. That was it. So it's just one of those things, you know?
It's pretty funny now because you have the baby. You're probably excited about the baby's first Christmas, and the baby's not going to have no idea what's going on.
Baby's not going to have a clue, but he's a happy baby, so he'll give me an appreciative smile, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's gonna be a real hoot now. Oh, hey, my 10-year-old wants a PC. I said, well, what's a PC? And it's
like a gaming PC?
Of course, naturally.
Yeah, well, Dad, I need a $12,000 gaming computer.
Oh, that's all. That's no big deal. Yeah. It's funny because you always wanted better for your kids, and then it's
exactly,
and you did, and that's it, and there's no but to it. It's just
you can't do the but thing. You just got to say, hey, and we're big givers here. The Good Brothers are givers.
Very. That's just. I think that's part of it. You should give because giving is part of your portfolio.
Sometimes we're a little too giving. Who knows? Anyway,
you know what I mean. Oh, merry, holly, jolly Christmas, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful Christmas. And I wonder if you're actually listening to this on Christmas. If you're actually listening to this on Christmas.
If you're listening to this on Christmas, are you getting heat with your wife? Is she like, or why are you listening to that? It's Christmas. F you. I don't know. Right in. Let us know.
the one wife in the email recently, she said, well, every time I hear you listening to those guys, are just talking about money and
Crypto and
about wrestling.
cryptids. Yeah. Who
Listen,
cares what the Loch Ness Monster's invested in?
just wait. We always have stuff in the works. You know, the Good Brothers are always thinking about something. And we someday, sooner or later, you're going to hear us 5 to 7 days a week. And
Talking
it's going to be
wrestling.
It's going to be 1 to 2 hours of full blown wrestling. And you're going to either love us or you're going to hate us. And you're going to think back, just like when the kids are young and small, and you're going to wish you could hug and hold the kids again. You're going to think back on when you could listen to the Good Brothers talk about cryptids.
Boy, I wish they would talk about some cryptids.
And money and stocks.
I challenged my son to get up and come down here, and he was making some really bold long-term WWE booking predictions last night.
Really?
He set an alarm, but he no-showed us. I mean, he just no F's given here on Christmas.
What were some of his what were some of them?
No, I mean, these were like extensive. I said, you have to do this on Talking Shop at some point because they're very well thought out. I mean, he's got all the way through WrestleMania into SummerSlam. And I was like, wow, he's putting a lot.
Which again is fun to do.
It's fun, especially like when you're that age, because he thinks he can call everything and he thinks he's a great predictor of the future. And some of it, I'm like, wow, you really have watched a lot and you do. These are great points. You know,
and let me reiterate my thoughts on fantasy booking. That I love that. Here's my thing though. So fantasy book what you think out. I think you should only fantasy book. You can fantasy book 6 months out. That's great. Enjoy yourself, have fun doing it. Just don't try to compare it to what you're watching on TV, because then you're only either you're gonna anger yourself or think that you're right or that's right or that. Then you start to
that's when people I think probably build up, not to cut you off, but it's what we do here. But don't you think that's what builds up like maybe the beginning of the angry Twitter people? Like the people
it's like, well, I can't believe
I don't know why so and so lost to so and so.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing as like when people watch the show Lost and they go, why did that ending happen like that? Because that's the way the writers wrote it. I mean,
yeah, that's what they wanted, guys. Sorry. Anyway,
like,
anyway, there's always next week.
If you want to write Lost Part 2, a whole other series, please go to it. It's just so you can't anger yourself with it.
The thing about professional wrestling, WWE and everywhere else is this. If you don't like what happened this week, just watch next week. It's never ending. So
I think
something that you do like eventually. That's what I think. Don't
make yourself
mad about it. It's not worth getting mad about.
Well, yeah, I think you'll have more fun fantasy booking if, say, you do the fantasy booking long term. Okay, then what you watch on TV
and your guy doesn't win.
It doesn't happen the way you wanted it to. Well, just like in pro wrestling, it's like when injuries happen or things happen and you got to switch, or somebody quote unquote gets over and they actually listen to the crowd, which we'll get into that later. But anyway,
that's a deep dive for another day.
And you that's a deep dive for another day and never. And so anyway,
hey, didn't you promise a deep dive today?
Yeah. What?
Anyway,
come again. But when your guy doesn't win, okay, now alter your fantasy booking and go this way. That's what I think you should do.
I have a Christmas question for you, because I know the answer with us together, but with us not together, pre Gallows, B, what do they call that, before Christ? I don't want to compare myself, but BG, before Gallows. Did you ever wrestle on Christmas?
The pre-Gallows. So pre-Gallows. So New Japan Pro Wrestling each December would used to run a tour, and then we would go home before Christmas. And then the Japanese guys, New Japan would still tour and run shows. They used to run shows
like through late December, right?
Yeah, all through. And they would wrestle on Christmas, but they would send all the foreign boys home, and usually not on it. But then December of 2011, I believe we were the IWGP Tag Team Champions.
You and Matt, right? You and Big Bernardo.
Big Baldo, being Giant Bernardo, Matt Bloom, then head coach at NXT.
Yep.
We had a historic tag team run or whatever. We were in the mid.
Bad intentions. Yep.
We were towards the end of like the longest reign of the IWGP
Ever, right?
tag champions ever and the most title defenses ever. And Christmas, we went home, and this was before they didn't do the tag. They used to do the heavyweight G1 World Tag League. It was called the G1 Tag League. Ended up changing to be called the World Tag League by the time you got there. It was called the G1 Tag League, and that used to be in October. So then December was a completely different tour. Gotcha. But around December 5th or so, I got an email that asked, or maybe an in-person ask, if I could fly back for Christmas Eve, Christmas night, Christmas something, day after Christmas, a tour, and then just stay through the Tokyo Dome.
And then you just wrestle through the dome and then you go home. Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, and I just had and I knew I was having a baby on December the 7th of 2011. My second son was coming.
Yeah.
And I went, yeah, I mean, of course I'm not, I wouldn't.
You got to go. Of course.
It was for a Christmas Eve special at Korakuen, a Christmas Day special at Korakuen. And then we got into a bus and we got into a bus the day, as soon as the night show at Korakuen was finished, we drove straight to, I believe it's called Amori, which is up north of Japan. And it was in the snow. So here, let me start over. So me and Baldo wrestled Kojima. We were leading up for Kojima and Tenzan at the Tokyo Dome of 2012.
Okay.
And Baldo, Matt Bloom, Tensai, had just re-signed with the WWE.
Oh, so is this his last tour?
So this was his last tour. The Tokyo Dome was going to be his last match.
His send-off, yeah.
His send-off. We were going to drop the titles to Kojima and Tenzan. Nice. And Christmas Eve, I had a singles match with Kojima at Korakuen, and Baldo had a singles match with Tenzan at Korakuen. And then the next night on Christmas Day, I had a singles match with Tenzan, and Baldo had a singles match with Kojima. And then we went and drove off on the bus. We got to the town at probably, like, let's just say 9 p.m. Yuji Nagata of famous WCW fame.
Yes.
He asked,
anti-aging hero.
He asked me and Rocky, this is Christmas night in Japan, in Amore. I think it's Amore. It was up north. It's freezing. It's snowy.
With Yuji Nagata.
It was a
my
good
little
time.
Friend Rocky. Okay.
He asked if me and Rocky Romero wanted to go and have a nice Christmas dinner. And so we walked through the snow. And we found a little weird Japanese bar that was open, and they were playing Christmas music.
That sounds pretty fun to me, man.
No, it was.
I mean, if you can't be home with your family,
it was beyond fun because it was it was amazing, and the way I explained it now is incredible.
I love this story.
And like Nagata knew where we were going, so we were just following him, and he goes, "Oh, maybe this is good." And we go in here and.
Great.
They're inside, and the place is like, it wasn't a typical Japanese bar where they're all sitting around quiet. It was like they were singing Christmas carols, and loved it. And we walked in, and it was, "Oh, Merry Christmas!"
Nice.
And then me, Rocky Romero, and Yuji Nagata had a Christmas night of 2011 out in somewhere Japan.
That's pretty fun. Do you remember what was the match the next day? Or was it just like an 8-man or something?
I believe that would have been an 8-man of probably with Kojima or Tenzan in the middle of it.
That was probably good because you probably weren't feeling great after your Christmas night shenanigans.
I can't imagine, but I was a young man then. None of that bothered me.
Well, of course.
Never. It was like, I'm good, no problem. But I remember this. Me and Rocky Romero, we knew we were going to be in Japan together. We were for Christmas Day, and we were like, let's get each other a gift. We'll get each other a Christmas gift. When I landed back in Japan, I realized I'd left Rocky Romero's gift at home. But I didn't tell Rocky Romero this. I just thought, well, maybe
You just hoping he forgot to get you a gift?
yeah, no, I got him a gift. Well, it doesn't matter that I could just say I got him a gift. But here's
But
the thing.
were you hoping that he forgot?
I was hoping he just would forget about it, but it was,
Yeah.
I knew he wouldn't. No way.
Yeah.
And then Christmas morning, I opened up my door and saw a bag on my door, and I went, well, Rocky Romero did not forget that it was
shit.
That it was. And he had gotten me a hat, and I texted him and I said, "Hey, man, listen, I left your." I took a picture of what I got him and everything, and I said, "I feel terrible. I left it at home." He goes, "No problem, dog."
I didn't bring your Christmas gift. I promise you got one.
That's so because we all were kind of tripping about having about Christmas. Being away, being there at Christmas, because we were always there for Thanksgiving. That was kind of the thing. Was we were all I was in Japan for Thanksgiving for 8 years. I never had a Thanksgiving at home from 2008 until 2016. I never had one before. I didn't have one I never had a Thanksgiving at home with my family. I never had my new family, my kids, my wife, ever, because I had kids in 2010. So then I never did. But I remember when I remember flying back, and I just had my newborn baby December 7th.
Yeah.
I probably left for Japan on December 20th.
Oh, wow.
And I remember the head booker Gato-san. Gato looked at me when I got to Japan, and he goes, "We have 5 days off before the Tokyo Dome. Do you want to fly home and see your family?" And I go, "Yes, please." Like, that'd be like that. Just that thought, that feeling was, that would be amazing, dude. He goes, "Okay, I talked to office." Then so then I'm excited.
Oh no!
Oh yeah!
No.
Oh yeah!
Ah, shit!
And the next day, I see him walking in the dojo. I'm like, "Oh, I can't wait to go." He goes, "Chad, sorry.
What time do I fly?"
Yeah. So yeah, what time am I getting out of here for you? 5. And he goes, "Chad, sorry, can't do." And I go, "Oh,
no."
Suck the wind right out of me. But it makes sense, because if you fly back from Japan, you already lose a day. You have 2 days at home, and then you fly back, and that would be worth it. But then
it'd be worth it. You'd be rocked. Your body, though, you're trying to catch up with the time zones and the jet lag and all that.
Boy, you'd be rocked. But I took a nice clothesline from Kojima on Christmas Day, and I took a nice headbutt from Tenzan in Korakuen too. It was two sold out shows. Those were fun.
Those were fun for sure. You and I spent Christmas in Chicago for a Monday Night Raw one time.
Oh, yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
I think we would have more fun with that now. We were in a very different place then. We were like, what are we doing here? Because we weren't on the show. And it was like,
we weren't on the show, but we were the only guys there that, my son came and spent Christmas in Chicago with us. I remember that.
I think we would probably have just been a little more chill. Because, hey, listen, we're competitive guys. We
were wound up. We were a little wound up.
Yeah, we want to be on the show.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? Absolutely. Do you remember any fun Christmas themed matches? I Googled this morning, and I saw they do something every year, like Batista beating up Santa Claus and Stone Cold giving the stunner to Santa Claus, and everybody whooped Santa Claus's ass in WWE because Santa Claus is usually in a wrestling sense, he usually turns.
Oh, Shanta?
And he's a bit of a heel, and then he gets his ass whooped.
Oh, Shanta, man.
I had to do a Santa Festus match against Deuce of Deuce and Domino in 2000.
So what year is this?
Probably 2007, I would think. But I remember just they said, "Have a nice, fun little Santa Claus match," and I'm going, "What the hell's a nice, fun little Santa Claus?"
have a nice, fun little Santa Claus match.
But what does that mean? And we were wrestling those guys on TV. I think they were the champs, but I just remember I'm already Festus, right? So it is what it is. Then they come to me and they go, "Well, here's your Santa Claus suit," and it's too big for me, and I was already too big. And then they also gave me a fat suit to wear under the Santa Claus suit. I'm like, well, I'm already fat and I have to wear a fat suit. But okay, you do what you're supposed to do. And I remember I was mad before we even walked out there because whatever we were going to do, we talked about it and then we didn't see each other. And then Next thing I see Deuce and like they're 1950s, like slick back hair. They drive a 50s car or cherry their girlfriends on roller skates. So that's the gimmick. I
Interesting
get that.
gimmick. Yeah.
But they gave us both Santa Claus suits with fat suits. And this is, I'm in my early 20s. So I'm just like, whatever you say, I do it. Well,
Mm.
he got rid of his fat suit and he went and like had like the sleeves cut out of his Santa suit. Then he like had it tailored to fit him. And I mean, he looked like the coolest man I'd ever seen.
He was a
And
cool
here I
Santa.
am dressed, I'm Festus, wearing a fat suit, full sleeves, Santa Claus. I can barely walk out there. And yeah, it
Well,
was
what was a nice little Santa Claus match?
nice little Santa Claus match turned into a bit of a brawl. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube and look back, but I don't know if young Festus and young Deuce were agreeing with each other 100% on things at that time. I remember that Hawkins always laughs. He's like, "Brah, at one point you grabbed a right hand headlock and just started hockey punching him," and I was like, "I don't know about all
Oh,
that."
there's some disagreeing in there. I like that. Turned
Wait a
into a little bit of
minute.
a shoot.
No, just a nice fun little Santa Claus match.
Well, I guess we did wrestle Santa Claus, and this is something that I'd love to ask because I never understood it then. I don't understand it now, and no wonder the crowd was looking at us like we were. No wonder it was so awkward
Wait, we wrestled Santa Claus?
in Baltimore, Maryland, the year 2016 or
The
2017,
year of our Lord,
and
2007.
we had ourselves a nice. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Trick or treat.
Oh,
Street
well, yeah,
fight.
the holiday themed matches are
Yeah, but it's in and it's in.
yeah.
Here's what I didn't understand. Okay, we had a trick or treat street fight, which that should be wiped off of the.
2 in a row I had.
We had and it was a Halloween trick or treat street fight.
Sure.
Halloween in October.
Yes, in Baltimore.
So we were dressed up as the Southpaw characters, Chad Too Bad and Tex Ferguson. Great.
Okay, so you're talking about the second rendition of our Halloween street fight career.
Yes, but this is why that I didn't understand it because it's Halloween.
Sure.
And out comes Heath Slater.
Oh yeah, holy shit, you're right.
Heath Slater
As Santa Claus.
and the Man Beast.
And are you ready? The man
I
beast,
know.
the king of the gore, and he's dressed as who?
Yeah, Mrs. Claus.
Mrs. Claus with rosy red cheeks and lipstick and eyeshadow. And I'm like, did he think that was funny or did someone else think that? I don't know.
That must have been a who was in charge thing that thought that was funny, but I don't understand. I guess that's what I didn't get. It's like there's so many things you could do. Why
I
would
think maybe they were shifting Rhino into a more comedy role during that.
but why Santa and Mrs. Claus in October for Halloween? Nobody dresses as those guys.
It's a Halloween themed thing. Who knows? Maybe they had the gobbledygooker in the next segment.
When saw
Thanksgiving.
we went and saw some lights at a nice place here in Tampa, and Mrs. Claus and Santa Claus were they had the cookies.
The cookies?
We walked in, we saw Mrs. Claus. She was very nice.
Yeah. Santa was a dick.
We saw Santa Claus was very nice. We saw Santa Claus, and I'm looking at this Santa Claus.
So your 2 youngest are pumped for this.
My 2 youngest are pumped for this.
The baby's not pumped.
And the baby didn't want anything to do with Santa.
Cashie's pumped, right?
Cashie's pumped. And I have another Santa Claus. Well, let me back up to my first Santa Claus story. We went to take pictures as a family about two weeks ago. We go to the house to take she does great pictures. She's awesome. Yeah. Really great place. Well, we had a surprise to have Santa be there, right? So what we're going to do is we take the pictures and then Santa pops out from behind and
scares the shit out of all the kids.
Yeah, well, and it would make the 6-year-old go like he would be pumped, right?
He should be, yeah.
Well, we get to the house right on time. We knock on the door. The lady comes in. She goes, "Hey, we're not ready for you guys yet. Can you just wait a second?" We're thinking, all right, no problem.
You got to get Santa's beard on him, right?
All right, so we're in here. We're in there. We're outside in the front yard, just hanging out, waiting for the lady to not let us know. And then I'm talking to the kids, talking to the wife, and then all of a sudden, my 6-year-old goes, "Santa?"
Santa pull up in an '84 Buick with a couple beer cans rolling out, or what?
I didn't see what he pulled up in, but he's just walking in the front door.
Oh, come on, Santa! What the
And
hell,
so
bro?
he no sells the kids and me because
Really?
he's trying to get in quick.
You can't kayfabe if you have the outfit on.
Well, and he knows sold everybody.
Piece of
Runs
shit.
inside. The lady opens the door and she goes, "We're ready for you." And I went, "Oh, for crying out loud!"
Oh, come on.
So we go inside.
Where's your sleigh at, asshat?
So then I'm thinking, where's Santa at? Right. So now, okay, well, the 6-year-old doesn't care. He wasn't asking questions. The older boys are going, "Are you kidding me?"
I mean, come on, Dad.
we do all the pictures. And then ta-da! Santa pops out from behind.
Oh, good. Oh.
So there wasn't a whole lot of a surprise.
That's pretty
what
funny.
I mean?
Our neighbors invited us to a Christmas party, and they had Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the Grinch, and it was a very nice party. And Santa and Mrs. Claus were great, but the Grinch was a professional Grinch. He's a stand-up comedian, but he told me that his whole winter is booked up being the Grinch. And what I thought was cool about it was we probably stayed for about 2 hours, which I thought we might just see Santa Claus and go, but it was a pretty fun little thing. They had food and drinks and all kinds of stuff going on.
How about that?
So the Grinch stayed in gimmick the whole time, and he just went around insulting people as the Grinch, which popped the shit out of me because some of the people didn't know how to take it because there's like a mixture of like our age group of friends and like the parents are like having drinks and hanging out and they think it's funny, but then the older people don't know how to take the Grinch because he's a little off color, you know.
Yeah.
And then this is no lie, the Grinch goes, "Hey, I gotta say something to you here. Can I get a little too sweet and a selfie?" Oh my God, the Grinch is a fan of the Good Brothers. And he goes, "Yeah, I gave away one of your ring-worn shirts at a charity event earlier this afternoon. That's no lie." And I go, "What? Where did you get that?" And he goes, "Take the picture." I just went, okay, man. So the Grinch is not only a carny, but he's a Good Brother fan.
Oh, no, that's great. We went to is he down here?
He's down here. Let's see if we can get the sleep out of his eyes. Because I do want him to do, he was giving me his Royal Rumble and WrestleMania predictions last night, and I was amazed how good they were. So let's see if we can. He's cranking the son up because he's got to wait for wrestling today. So he's
you got to hop in the song. Where did you find
getting the old hot box? You asked me this yesterday. I found mine on Amazon and it's awesome. I've done no maintenance to it, nothing. Will you give your prediction real quick? You don't have to be engaging. You can come here, talking to Mike.
I mean,
say good morning to the machine gun.
We all love a little engagement. What's up, Cade? How you doing, buddy?
So this is my son, my oldest, that wants to be a pro wrestler, 17-year-old Cade. Tell me what your Royal Rumble winner predictions and your WrestleMania events are real quick, please.
Here we go.
Okay.
Poor kid's just getting out. He's just exhausted.
He's just waking up. What's that, buddy?
Men and women?
Yeah.
Okay. For the men, I got either Dad's Call and Jey Uso.
Winning the Rumble?
Or CM Punk. It's going to turn into a triple threat with Cody, Seth, and CM Punk at night 1 because I think Rock and Roman main event night 2. And then the girls, I got Charlotte coming back and winning it. And then at WrestleMania, Tiffany Stratton cashing in on her.
So does she wrestle Nia and then Tiffany Stratton cashes in or what? I'm asking you.
He doesn't know.
Oh, he just
that's it.
He just took a powder. That's great. You got anything else?
Those
are your picks. Those are pretty good picks. I'll give you that. Those are good. What's in your picks?
Those are great. I'd say Charlotte's going to come back and just win.
Are you gonna trash bag in there? Oh my God, get a water. He's going to put the trash bag under the sweatsuit and get in the sauna. I remember those days. It's brutal.
So explain his. So I'm way out of the loop because since I'm injured here and hanging out. So what did he say? What did he explain?
So he thinks that Jey Uso will win the Royal Rumble.
And Uso Royal Rumble
or CM Punk. And then what's the WrestleMania match in both of those scenarios?
CM Punk, Seth Rollins.
What, Cade?
Either I think Jey Uso and Cody or Seth, CM Punk and Cody.
Seth, CM Punk and Cody, or Jey Uso and Cody. Very interesting. And you think Rock, Roman night 2? I wonder what's so the road to WrestleMania starts after Christmas, and the first episode of Raw on Netflix is January 6th. So it's time to, no pun intended, set the proverbial table, with the new heads of the table. What's that? You're calling The Rock coming back at Raw? The Rock has to come back at Raw. I know nothing, but I would say for the Netflix debut, when the opportunity for more eyes to be on WWE ever in the history of the entire business, The Rock's got to come back on the January 6th Netflix Raw debut. I mean, look at the numbers for Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. You think The Rock's not getting in on that? The Rock's getting in on that. I would have to predict, right?
And isn't it crazy that Netflix is like more popular than cable TV? It's just who did say that though? I remember a long time ago, Eric Bischoff was talking about it. He was like, it's going to go away from cable to streaming.
Yeah, it's streaming. It's a content company now. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. But think about it now. Like, we heard this when we were hearing the early rumblings about this, that Netflix was always nervous about having a live sporting event. And now your Christmas Day game is on Netflix. It's all Netflix's pumping. December 25th, you're going to watch the NFL on Netflix. And then 2 weeks later, then wrestling shows up that's never been on there live before. So it's pretty cool.
Do you remember what I was messaging you yesterday? Let me real quick here.
We messaged about a lot of things yesterday.
As we engage in this, I just wanted, because we just want to make sure I'm trying to lead you guys to a place where you can send us a voicemail.
Oh yeah. Can you explain that? Because that'll make this. The emails are fun, but if we can hear your voices, and I think that our team has shown Karl Anderson, the machine gun here, a way that can work. Because if we can hear you,
yes,
it's not going to stump him with the punctuation, the vocabulary, the run-on sentences, etc., the things that he complains about.
All the awful emails you guys send me. No, so let's do this. I'll leave a link. I'll leave a link. I'll start posting the link and explaining what to do. And it is a little bit of a process. And once we start to figure this whole thing out, we're going to probably get our own stream into it. But here's the deal. Go to Speak, SPEAKPIPE, speakpipe.com.
Speakpipe.com.
Speakpipe.com. Do that. It goes right directly to a thing that says start recording.
Perfect.
Speakpipe.com.
What do they? Okay, go ahead.
You hit start recording. You allow access to it. This right here shows a max duration of 90 seconds, whatever. Hit stop. A link will pop up. Save it. And then send the link to talkandshopgoodbrothers@gmail.com.
That's actually easy enough that I would not even have. I could do that, and that's how I have to gauge these things, because I wonder sometimes. I go, come on, but that's easy. We can. That's
now again. I actually think we can make it even easier, but sometimes I wonder. I wonder. How about this though? We can also try. They also do this though. Send in, do a voice message with your phone. Go to your audio.
If you have an iPhone, I don't know if they have that. Androids have that, but iPhone has that voice memo app.
They do. Go to a voice memo app. Keep it tight. If you keep it a minute, 2 minutes, and
think about it as a promo. Don't go longer than 60 seconds, because we can't hear you on here for 40 minutes, please.
And send a voice recording to talkandshopgoodbrothers@gmail.com, and we're going to set aside. We're going to allocate time for some calls, some
voicemails,
voices,
and just email system,
and we'll react to those and see how they go. How do the voicemails go? I think what you do is just have, like Jim Rome always says, have a take and don't suck. Talk. Come on. Give us what you want to say it in a minute, cut a promo, feel it. But listen,
I think it's going to be easier though, because when you have a live caller, this was a pet peeve of mine since I was a kid, because I knew it was pissing off the DJ. They like call in caller number 5, whatever. So instead of calling with the answer to, what was the first rock band inducted into the Hall of Fame or whatever the hell the question was, the caller calls in, they go, caller number 5, you're on the air. And the guy goes, hi. And they go, hi. A long time listener. How are you?
Yeah.
We're great. What's the first rock band in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Well,
My
that's that.
daughter and I listen every morning. That's great. What's the first rock band? Shut the fuck up and just say. But we don't have that problem here because
this way we can now. We
it's
do
recorded.
want to
So
ultimately
you're going to
take.
eliminate a lot of that issue.
Yeah, we do ultimately want to take. Well, again, I'm telling you, sooner or later, we're going to be on 5 to 7 days a week.
I know
Live.
it's gonna be weird when we're taking calls at 6 a.m. I don't know what people will say. We're gonna be like wrestling Howard Stern.
And it's going to be like that. So just be prepared for that. So just enjoy this right now. Send a voicemail and just say anything you want. And
Just
trust me, if it sucks, I
enjoy
won't
the
play
boys in all their different forms as they evolve.
it. Yeah. If it sucks, I won't play it. Or if it sucks,
Or
the team
you
probably will play it.
And I will say this: if you have any impressions, please do them.
Yeah, please just give us a voicemail. Have a take. Don't suck. Record. I think it might be easier to. No matter what you do, get a voice recording to Talk and Shop, goodbrothers@gmail.com. Also, continue to send your emails. And let's do, speaking of that, I want to do an email.
You want to do an email?
I want to do a Christmas email as we wind down this beautiful Christmas.
Oh, it's Merry Christmas. All right, let's hear the email.
I don't want to leave you guys too long. Here we go. This is the subject is Emilio.
Wow.
Who's not here. Good MFing brothers. The next sentence in a Scottish accent, please. He put in parentheses.
Okay.
It's wee Rab here. I work away offshore on the oil rigs, and I'm just now listening.
It's not a Scottish accent at all.
And I'm just now listening to the podcast Hoot Motivation 101.
It's Irish.
Firstly, great episode name. Secondly, getting Emilio back on the pod, even though most of us know he still just produces. Such a great listen. Hopefully we can get good brother Emilio having some input more often. Wow, look at that.
That's right. I like it. We'll set his alarm early.
Because he keeps the good repentant brothers in check. Also, with Big Drew's thoughts on the cryptid folklore, Nessie the Loch Ness Monster is 100% more real than Festus. Sorry, I mean Bigfoot, just casually walking through the woods. I love you, boys. I love listening to the best pod available. Look at that.
That's a great email. I will say this: I don't think if Nessie's real, he's walking anywhere. He's an aquatic creature, but I don't want to split hairs here.
You can say whatever you want, but we have been all over the world, and every time we go to places like the UK or Scotland, we're just walking down the street, and people look and they go, "What the hell are the good brothers doing over here?
What are you doing? You want to come in and have a pint?"
Yeah. I come into it. It was we were in Glasgow. He's like,
yes.
I come in to go to work. I look over and the good brothers are just sitting there. This can't be real.
Waiting for a lamb, you know.
This can't be a real day. I go, well, here we are. This is crazy.
Just like when just like the surprise in the Grinch's eye when I walked in there.
Well, hello. The good brothers are here.
Hello,
guys.
Grinch.
We hope you enjoyed a beautiful, gorgeous, amazing Christmas. Christmas is most importantly about family and Bitcoin.
And for Bitcoin, for the machine gun Karl Anderson, for the big LG, I'm Howard Finkel from heaven, wishing you a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Fink. And don't look at your stocks. If you looked, boy, that before Christmas crash sucked.
I don't look at my stocks posthumously, Karl.
Yeah, now how are the stocks in heaven, Fink?
No one cares about stocks in heaven, Karl.
Oh, just streets
the streets are paved with gold.
Streets of gold. Can I take my precious metals to go to heaven?
It depends if you make it past St. Peter and get through the pearly gates.
Oh, is it just all gold up there, Fink?
Everything's shiny, precious metals, gold, platinum, and even the one that's not worth much, silver.
Ooh. I like how you're loaded up on silver because it's cheaper.
Oh, I love silver.
I do too.
Every time I buy my little bit of gold each month, I go, look at these silver deals. Yeah. My God.
I love there's so many different things. Like, should you get gold? Yes. And then it's like, should you get gold? What for? How you do a gold? I don't know. It's kind of fun to look at.
You can drive around and look at it like you do.
You can see my Bitcoin right here.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I don't know. We don't know much about anything, but we think 2025 Bitcoin, if you follow everything, if you follow the past Bitcoin stuff, and we're just new to Bitcoin,
yeah.
The past what's it called? 4 years. The past 4 years.
4-year cycle, baby.
This is it. 2025 is going to explode. So make sure you got enough in there that you can make a little profit, and then chill out 2026.
Well, not enough. Just get something in there. Just get your cleats on the field, as we like to say down here. I don't know if we'll say that or not, but do it.
Watch it fly for 2025. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas coming up.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Enjoy yourselves over this holiday season. Don't drink and drive. And happy holidays.
We'll see you guys on Sunday for a after Christmas hangover email.
Christmas hangover edition.
Email rendition. I think my wife might have a little hangover today.
Well, there you go.
I'm glad I don't have that anymore at all. Whew.
Let them start rocking some Christmas music. She'll really love that at 6 a.m.
Oh, it's a holly. Oh, come here, Cash. Say good morning, Cash.
Oh, a Christmas good morning from Cashy.
Well, he got a sleepy in his eyes. Come here, brother.
You got a sleepy in your eyes. You got
too bright. I'm sorry. Well, come here. Watch your thing there. Now look.
I can't even see.
Yeah, you can see.
Oh,
come here. Say hi, Uncle Gallows.
I can't even do this.
Oh,
hi, nephew Cash.
I
can't do this.
I can't even do this. It's too bright. I'm sorry. All right. Well, good morning.
Oh, nice. Let me see a little Bret Hart hair flip there out of you.
Hey, do your hair. Look at you.
Oh. We got the jealousy.
All right. Love you. All right, guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Good brother corn.